So y'all know who Gerbert Johnson is. He's a like men's space kind of self-improvement adjacent YouTuber. He makes a lot of good videos. And before I make this video, I wanted to preface I'm a Gerbert Johnson fan. You know, I'm a patron. I've been watching him for a year. I enjoy his shit. But this recent video that he put on his Void channel, I don't like at all, which is crazy because I usually really like his videos, but this one I disagreed with almost every single thing that he said. I'm not going to waste any more time though. I just wanted to give a little preface.
But I'll figure it out. This is kind of long. I'm done.
Yeah, that was kind of long. I'm not going to, I'll summarize what that was. If you don't know, he has his viewers send him in questions through like email or Instagram sometimes. This guy was basically saying like he discovered self-development a while ago. He's been doing it, you know, the morning routine, no-fap, all this shit. But he's like, what the fuck? Does this even bear any fruit? Like, what am I doing this for? He's starting to doubt himself, doubt his journey. You know, he's saying stuff like, will I make it big? Just like very unsure of the path that lays ahead of him going on this self-development journey.
So here's the thing. All of these books, you're right. You pointed out they have a similar thing. They all talk about the same thing. Even this one, Outwitting the Devil, in many ways. Napoleon Hill, who wrote Outwitting the Devil, also wrote Think and Grow Rich. There's some other things. A lot of self-improvement books. Psycho-Cybernetics, The Master Key System. Plenty of self-help books. They're all pretty much based around what is called the law of attraction.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. All self-help books are kind of just like the same shit but recycled and like a different color palette on them. It's just like different people's interpretations of the same message, which is like, you know, have defined goals, have something that makes you want to work towards it. There you go. It boils down to being able to achieve things,
which I'm sure you heard of. It's basically you utilize your conscious power, visualization and such, in order to manifest positive outcomes in your life. And I'm gonna, for now, I could talk about the merit of these things, but that's not really, I'll talk about that later. The problem is the application of these things, whether they work or not, is wrong. Because even under the let's operate under the assumption that they do work, there has to be enough of a diaspora of things that people want to do. Nowadays, everybody wants to do the same things, so they can't all attract the same things.
I just don't think that's true. A lot of people want, you know, that's the big word, want, to be an influencer. They want to be a rapper. They want to be, you know, famous. They just want it though. You know, for all of eternity, humans have wanted what's at the top, and right now at the top of the hierarchy is being famous, having the light. This is no new thing. You know, I bet back in the peasant times, when they're eating fucking rye bread off the street, they're like, oh, I wish I was the king sitting in the castle with all the gold and bitches. You know, people always wanted that. Nowadays, there's like three groups of people. There's the people that want these things. There are the people that will try it for like, you know, a week or two. And then there's the people that will actually get it. You know, I really think that just the effort expenditures, it's what separates if you get it or if you don't get it.
Because we all know that everybody cannot be rich. We all know that everybody cannot be exceptional. Everybody cannot be attractive. Because being rich, being exceptional, being attractive are all things that are defined by being a statistical minority. That's how they are defined at the top.
Yeah, definitely everybody cannot get rich. But I don't think any, like, maybe there are people saying that. I haven't heard anybody say that everybody can be rich. These things are only defined because there is and then there is lack of. That's almost everything in life. You know?
All these things are defined by being at the top, so everybody can't be them. We know this. So even operating under the assumption that the law of attraction works, well, you know, the law of attraction is not some esoteric secret thing no more. Every jackass knows about this shit. All have some goals. They're all rubbing their temples like, where's my, you know, I envision it. I see the penthouse and the cars and the bitches.
Yeah, everybody, most people know about the law of attraction. Yeah, I don't think it has ever worked that it's the envisioning that makes it happen, right? I think really what like the power that comes from that is, you know, even when you're in the shower, when you're commuting to work, when you're cleaning around the house, you're focused on this thing. It creates desire, it creates motivation to actually go chase that. I think that's where the power comes from. But still, you can have all that fucking shit in the world, and if you don't do anything, it still is just a dream. You know, eventually you have to stop fucking visualizing and you have to actually do it. That is still the separating factor between these two people, you know, the people that don't get what they want and the people that do get what they want.
So operating on the assumption these things work, even still, it's like everybody wants to be similar things. Everybody wants these similar outcomes. So then what does it become, like a who can visualize better contest?
I feel like that was a joke, but I mean, no, it doesn't. It doesn't become that. It becomes who can actually sustain having no results for years and still trying to work at this thing. That's where the deciding factor is. You know, the guy that can sit there and do YouTube for a year and get no results, do YouTube for 2 years, 3 years and get no results, and still works to it. That's the person who eventually becomes a YouTuber.
Let me talk about how everybody wants to be the same things. You know, who we idolize now aren't like, you know, scientists or engineers for the most part. It's all entertainers, because we have a very like entertainment type of culture. Everybody is very obsessed with escapism. So these kids growing up, that's all their goals. It's all rapper or influencer. That's like the largest bulk of what people want to do. Producer, rapper, influencer, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this, like, I feel like I'm just repeating myself. Yeah, you know, people want to do these things, but they don't do them. You know, I bet like all of the kids in middle school right now, they want to do these things. They actually do want to, but they're not doing them. And then there will be like 25% of them that want to do it that will try for a week. And then there's like 25% of them that will try for a month. And then the like 0.11% that are still in fucking high school or college that are still actually trying to do this. That is the factor that decides whether or not you get it. Putting this like kind of fake, very synthetic competition that like everybody's doing these things, so why are you even doing them? Everybody wants this shit. It's not gonna fucking work. Everybody wants to. Everybody wants to be jacked. Everybody wants to be rich. Everybody wants to have like the nice girlfriend, the nice car, all of this stuff. Everybody wants this. Why is that a reason to not go try to get those things? That makes no sense to me at all. I guess like online, it kind of creates this fucking environment to where it seems like everybody's actually trying to get these things, but then you go out in the real world and you see the average guy, you know, definitely is like playing video games. He's not really achieving much. He's just going to work and then coming home, playing video games, going to work again, you know, just day by day by day. In my life, that is definitely the case. These guys are just doing nothing. But like online, you know, it's a completely different environment than the real world. So it seems like people are actually doing this shit. They're not.
There's like almost no average anymore. Everybody has these extreme beliefs. We're in the most polarized time. And this is because of the internet, whatever. But it's because like you can afford to have just normal, blank, like just average beliefs if things work. But when you don't get basic things by walking the straight path that was placed in front of you, then you start seeking all these different ideas. So Zoomers are either just like communists, completely socially radically progressive, or they're, you know, the complete other side, totally traditional and Nazi, whatever. Now that sounds just like I'm a centrist. I'm not. That's kind of gay. Like, choose something, you know what I mean? But maybe that's my Zoomer brain talking. Back to the topic.
No, I think there's an average, definitely, but the average is just so bad. You know, most of the guys, I mean, I don't live in a big city. I don't know if it's different for you. I live in metro Atlanta, so on the outskirts of Atlanta, right? And most of the guys that I know, they're not working out. They don't have some plan at all. You know, they're living day by day. You know, they go out on the weekends, they get drunk, and then they come home and they go to work. They just do the same shit over and over again. You know, I'm not saying back in the day they had some like fucking plan for this shit, right? But they were definitely doing more things than just waking up, being on their phone for the first 3 hours, going to work, coming home, playing video games, and going to sleep. Like, the average person has such little fucking brain power because all of it's being sapped away by this just escapism. They aren't doing anything. And like, you've talked about this in your videos too. I don't get how you don't like how it's not obvious that is such an important factor into why the like average route doesn't work, and how there's all of these guys that are being failed by the system, right? It's not their fault that they're being grasped by this fucking social media and this like video games, all this shit, right? It's not their fault. It's still their responsibility. And that's a big deal. That plays such a big part. You know, all of these guys have been growing up since fucking 3 years old with a tablet in their hand. They don't want to work. They'd rather just play because they're so stimulated all the time. They don't want to do anything.
Well, that is kind of that's connected with the topic, because here's the problem. I've talked about this before. Really, what I was doing was parroting, like lots of other people who have talked about this, is that being average doesn't afford you basic things fundamentally on your Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Being an average man, you no longer are afforded a relationship, a marriage, a family, which is traditionally why you would work, why you would want to work an average job, not because it's fun, not because it's you're super passionate about whatever you're doing, because it's a responsibility, it's a sacrifice for a family.
The average guy is bad, right? You know, that, like, I know you've heard the saying, hard times create strong men create good times. You know the fucking saying, right? We have a lot of fucking weak guys now. So the bad times are here because we have a lot of weak guys. I think it's like, I really do think you're kind of ignoring the fact that these guys are, like, the average is bad. The bar is very low. The average, you know, what most people end up becoming is not good. That plays such a big role into this. That plays such a big role. That is an undeniable and, like, unignorable fact.
So when you're not afforded these basic things, what people say, that's where this huge obsession with self-improvement comes from. This huge obsession with all these ideas, all these esoteric ideas, trying to get yourself out of this, being a Sigma male, reading all this shit, investing. All of this is something like most young people shouldn't be concerned with, but they are, because things just don't work. What we have just doesn't work. Being average doesn't work anymore.
I mean, again, the average is bad. You know, I'm still an average fucking guy, right? I'm not exceptional in any part of life. But before, you know, I was like the bottom part of the average. I was addicted to substances. I was addicted to porn, video games, social media. I had bad friends in my life. I was doing nothing. I graduated high school, but I had no plan for myself. I was just working jobs so I could buy weed, buy nicotine, you know, do nothing with myself. That's what I was doing. And like that was probably below average, but like what's in the middle? You know, these guys are fucking going to work after high school and they're staying at their parents and they're just like buying clothes. They're buying fucking skins in Warzone. Like, that's the average now.
And we know that it won't work for everybody. But so then what these self-improvement type people say is they say, yes, not everybody can get rich. Not everybody can be attractive, but anybody can. Meaning any individual one person can. Well, obviously everybody can't be rich. That's just definitionally true. There's no argument there. But I would also argue against that anybody can. That any one individual person can.
Why do you think this, Gerbert?
I don't think that's the case.
No, obviously not everybody can, right? Like, if you're treating fucking crayons like they're tropical fruit Mike and Ike's, you're not going to be able to get rich. You're not going to be able to get successful. But I think you're putting like such a small glass ceiling on the potential of these guys, right? You know, I said this before, but like, not that in 2020, you know, I found out about self-development in 2021, and back then, you know, I had like long, greasy blonde hair. I smoked weed all day, every single day. I was like so badly addicted to vaping, like I couldn't go a fucking minute without vaping. I was doing acid and shrooms all the time, just doing nothing with myself, playing video games all the time. I was like 12 hours screen time, just nothing at all. addicted to porn, like the low point. You know, my parents were both drug addicts. My parents were both cigarette smokers. My mom didn't graduate high school. My dad didn't go to college. Like, I had all of the excuses there to be like, oh, I'm genetically disposed to this shit. I can't do anything. Like, I had every fucking reason to think that. And I think, you know, you putting this message out here to these guys that might have been in the same position as me, that, like, you know, not everybody can. You have to look at your circumstances and your genetics. Obviously, those things play, like, such a big point, you know what I mean? Because if my parents weren't, like, drug addicts and they both went to college, I would have a higher potential, probably. But you're acting like the glass ceiling is, like, right here. I know I can still do so good, you know? I see my potential every single day, and, like, almost every single day, I see myself not reaching it. So I see what's there, you know? And that's only my potential now. After doing this shit for, what, fucking 2 years? You know, I feel like the only people that really, like, have no chance of fucking making anything of themselves are, like, mentally retarded people that are disabled, you know, paralyzed folks, like, shit like that, you know? Like, a lot of people can work on themselves to an amount to where they can be successful. They can have a wife, a family, and, like, a nice, like, nuclear home. They can have the things that lead to a fulfilling life.
So, to the extent that you apply, that you believe in any of this, yeah, I do think it can work a little bit, but people take it way too far. Yes, you can utilize your will, your visualization, your conscious power to do things. Sure. Does this mean you're free from your genetic shackles? Your genetics, your situation growing up, none of it means anything? No. Does this mean?
You see how he's, like, saying that, you know what I mean? He's like, sure you can, you know, sure you can use your will, you know what I mean? Like, it's like he doesn't even fucking believe it. He's just, like, saying that because it's what he's heard. Obviously, everybody does have a limit, but, you know, I mean, again, if you would have looked at me then, where would you have said mine was? I was in just, like, such a bad spot. Where would you have said my fucking, you know, you're saying you can change a little bit. Like, a little bit? I think I've already changed a lot. Just that, like, how people interact with me, the, like, respect that I get from other people now, like, how I'm treated. It's, like, a black and white difference. It's like I'm a completely different person to the new people that I meet now. People actually, like, listen to me. They want to hear what I have to say, and I don't think I'm some exceptional case.
And not everybody can be rich. No, not anybody. I meant to say not anybody. Like, certain people just can't, and they shouldn't be expected to. That's the problem. Being average, it doesn't afford you things, so now everybody is trying all this weird shit, which only skyrockets the saturation, the competition for all this stuff. The law of attraction itself is saturated.
I've already said this. I mean, I've already talked about this. Yeah, more people know about it, but there's not a lot of people doing anything about it.
Working out is saturated. I can't even go to the gym, you know. It's not even, like, helpful anymore. I'm just like another one of the countless guys working out, thinking that's going to do... Well, it does stuff, okay? But thinking that's going to make a big change. No, it's not. Everybody does that shit. All those statistics that are like, only 4% of people work out or whatever, those are old. Those have to be outdated. Tons of Zoomer men are doing it.
I just don't think that's true. Online, like, it's portrayed that everybody's doing this, but, like, if you actually go and talk to people, like, my brother, he works out regularly. I deadass have no fucking friends that actually work out regularly. I have, like, 5 good, like, male friends, and none of them work out regularly. And, you know, even people that I'm not good friends with, that I just know, acquaintances, they don't fucking do this. They really don't. And acting like it won't change a lot. He's like, yeah, it does stuff, but, like, you think it's gonna change anything? Yeah, it fucking does. It really does. If you're, like, a more big guy already, like, you're, like, you know, 170, 5'9", then maybe it won't change that much. But if you're in like the lower ends, which I feel like most people are nowadays, you see a lot of fat people and a lot of skinny guys. It will completely change how everybody treats you in your life. Oh, I can't dick ride working out enough. Gerbert's made a lot of progress, but he's talked about in another one of his videos about how he's just like a wiry guy and he'll never get that big. He has this like self-limiting belief, which is wrong. If you eat more, you'll get bigger. That's just thermodynamic facts. He is like limiting himself with this belief. So I think that's why he thinks that it's not going to change anything, because he already believes he can't even get big anyways. You know what I mean? So he's still like imagining himself as this like small, frail guy.
So being average you don't get anything for it. Just being normal. So now everybody's trying to be exceptional. And they can't. Most people can't. It's not only that everybody can't, most people mentally and physically are not capable. I don't want to sound like that way, but I think there's a lot of merit in doing normal things. Not everybody should try to be some entrepreneur. There need to be people who just do normal shit. The problem is that it's not worth it. It doesn't give you anything.
Again, I just disagree with those that most people can't be exceptional, because I just like to ask why. Why can most people not do that? If you completely just got like the fucking shittest card ever, like paralyzed at birth, mentally retarded, micro dick, like yeah, you're doomed. GG. You know what I mean? There's like a very slim chance you're actually gonna do something. But if you look like this guy, come on now. You really gonna say that you can't do anything? Why? I feel yeah, it's more comforting to say, oh no, I can't do anything, because then it absolves you from all responsibility that you have to take for your own situation. But come on now. And the thing about having merit and doing normal things, the normal things that people are doing, I don't think are very meritable. Going out and fucking drinking yourself to death weekend after weekend after weekend after weekend, or sitting at home and playing fucking Warzone all the time, like that doesn't, I don't think there's much merit in that at all.
It would be so cool if I could just like work a chill service job and buy a house. That sounds dope. I would do that if I could. I would leave all this behind. But I can't.
I don't know if you've worked a chill service job, but it's not chill. It's not fun. It's not cool at all. That shit fucking sucks ass.
I don't want to go too deep into this and just start ragging on people in this space, but it's like selling a course, the whole theory behind it, which a lot of these guys even admitted in the past, is like it costs nothing to produce, not time or money. You don't actually have to hold product, and you could sell it mass, on a mass scale. I could do that right now. I could literally make a course. I mean, like, I like money. I'll do sponsors. I'll do all that shit. I'll sell out. But a course, that's like, I don't even want to sound like I'm some moral guy, but that's like, I would feel slimy trying to do that shit.
Yeah, most of these courses that these motherfuckers are putting out are just absolute dog shit. Like complete fucking worthless products. I do think that you could make, like Gerbert Johnson, can make a shit ton of money if you actually like put some like real time, some real thought, and like try to help people with some product that you're making that would like make you feel happy because you're providing value to others, which I think, especially as a man, like that's like one of the biggest things that you can do to make yourself happy. Provide value to others and like give back to your community. I don't think that's bad at all. If it's an actual good product, I don't think that's bad at all. I don't think anybody would say that's bad. I mean, obviously, most of them aren't, but I want to write that off, dude, because you can make a shit ton of money if you made it like a good product and you felt good about it. That'd be great. You know what I mean? That'd be awesome.
It's tough because I totally understand. Like, I totally understand not wanting to do normal stuff. It's what happened. It's what happened to me. It's what I'm thinking. But that doesn't, that's not going to work for a lot of people either. So people think they found this out through the law of attraction, through this stuff. That's saturated too. You take the average route, you're boned. You try to do all this stuff, you're probably not going to make it. Unfortunately, you're kind of just fucked.
I don't like Vosh. Vosh is cringe. He's gay. I don't fucking like Vosh. But he had a point when he was like, Gerbert Johnson has this like doom or gloom, like everything's done under the sun like vision about everything. I promise you, I'm going to make it. 100% I'm going to make it. I'm going to be successful. I'm going to get the life that I want, right? Because there is like two options that I have in this world. It is I succeed, I get the things that I want, or I die of old age / natural causes. And those are the two options that I can have. And until I get those things, I'm going to keep on doing this. If anybody that's watching this video actually has some type of like higher aspiration for themselves, some like grandiose ass goal that they want in life, you know, you want to build a like great body with a 6-pack, you want to have the 100K a year job, you want to have the fucking nice car, the hot girlfriend, the house in Dubai, you know, whatever the fuck it is, which like ideology are you going to go with, right? Are you going to go with the ideology that this shit will work if you actually fucking try? If you actually try at this shit for years and years and years and years with no fucking near sight of success, right? I mean, I have 163 subscribers. You have no near sight of success, and you're still doing this. Or like, yeah, I mean, most people, they're not gonna fucking get it. If you're average, you're gonna, you know, you're fucked. And then if you try this shit, you're not gonna make it anyway. So you're just boned. GG.
I just wanted to make sure I end this video on not like a super. I don't want you to get a nihilistic impression from me because I said, you know, either way you're effed or whatever. But here's the thing. I think a lot of peace comes with acceptance. And stop struggling. And by this, I mean not to not try at all, but to sort of detach yourself from whatever reward. Hard work should be its own reward.
Okay, I do think he's just like kind of backtracking. You know, I think he thought about the thing that Vosh said about him just being a doomer. You know, a lot of his videos he does actually end with a message, but this one he did just say, you're pretty much just fucked, which might have been comedic, but it did sound real. And I do think that's actually what he believes, because you can see that message like slowly seeping into his videos since like earlier this year. I mean, I've noticed just like more and more of that like, you're fucked, it's over ass message, like just intruding his videos. You're not. Most of us are just like average fucking people, right? If you're below average, you can still get to like pretty good. If you're average, you can get to great. If you're bad, you can still get to average. And don't think that you're bad, right? Bad are the guys that are like 5'2". They have the leafy chin, the fucking receding hairline. They're addicted to drugs. Their parents don't have any connection with them. Like they have all these like super bad circumstances in life. You're like more than likely, way more than likely not that guy. You're probably just an average fucking guy. You can do great things. You can.
But just, you know, outcome independence is a good thing to think about, because it is something you should accept, because if you just look at it from a financial standpoint, an economic standpoint, or if you look at the dating market from a relationship standpoint, you're not going to be. It's not good. It's just not good. And if you take the average path, you're taking the safe route, but the safe route doesn't get you enough. And if you take the risky route, there's a chance you won't make it. And, well, that's just what it is.
Yeah, it's bad. Obviously, it's bad, right? I mean, everybody fucking knows that. Joe Schmo knows that, and he doesn't even interact with this space. You know, people that do the stock market, right? When the market's bad, they're not just like, okay, fuck stocks, I'm not fucking. One individual person, I mean, maybe there is one individual person that can control the market, but like most of us can't, right? So complaining about the dating market, complaining about the financial market, all of this shit, it's fucking pointless and leads to nothing at all. Yeah, it's bad, right? But I mean, there's still fruits. You know, I have a girlfriend. My friend Wyatt, he's like 5'6", overweight, doesn't have a great job, isn't in college, and he has a girlfriend. It's very possible. Same with financial stuff too. You know, I live in the metro Atlanta area. If I just wanted to get a regular job, you know what I mean? I was going to go to school and be a dentist, whatever. I would still be able to buy a house. If you know, I can't work at McDonald's and get a house, but like, I don't think, me personally, I don't think if you're working at McDonald's, you should be able to like, you know, buy a house, because then why would anybody aspire for much else? Especially in this day and age where like people are so atomized, people aren't having families, all of this shit. If you're working at McDonald's and you can get a house, why would you aspire for fuck all? You know, you can just work at McDonald's, not care about your job, and then still live.
I'm not nihilistic about it. Because well, now I don't want to get too like fugazi, but that's just like a separate issue. Okay? This isn't hopelessness. It's just the truth. I constantly get this criticism, and I think it's just projecting because you're a bitch, and I say what's happening, and it's clearly right in front of you, and you think it's nihilistic. It's not. Everything this is happening, and I'm still, if you look at it the right way, which is through acceptance, it's whatever. But it's happening. The only reason you think I'm being nihilistic is because you're in denial. So for anybody writing those kind of shits, like, fuck off. You're just being a pussy. Like, share, and subscribe.
Okay, that's like, I think to me, obviously just like a defense mechanism. If you disagree with me, if you don't agree with what I'm saying, it's not because you're right or you have a point at all. You're a fucking pussy. It's a way to kind of like ward off any type of like any type of like response that's not agreeing to this by saying like, if you disagree with this, you're a pussy and you're ignoring facts. No, I could say the same thing. If you agree with this shit, you're a fucking beta cuck bitch that isn't gonna do anything with themselves. You know, I could do the same thing. It's a nothing argument that is like nothing at all. Obviously, like, there are so many problems that are happening right now. You know, guys are killing themselves a lot. Guys are doing nothing with their lives. The dating market is bad. The financial situation that the United States is in is really fucking shit. Like, obviously, all of this stuff is happening. No one's saying that this stuff isn't happening. But trying to, like, take away control from these people for their own lives because, like, all of this shit is going on is bad. Like, that's even more reason for you to want to do good. I just really don't get it. Like I said, I fucking like your videos. I don't get this, though. I don't get this video at all. I don't like this way of looking at the world at all. That's about it. See you later.